I'm Alaji Y. Ahadain.
I am Cinderella Felix. I am Nagalea Cristel. We are
So, pleasant morning, guys. I am the first reporter, and again, my name is Vincent Escuba. And our topic for today is all about use of manipulatives. So, what is manipulatives? Manipulatives in teaching mathematics refers to physical objects or tools that help students understand mathematical concepts through hands-on experience. These tools are especially used in making abstract mathematical ideas or concrete. Some common types of manipulatives include blocks, counter, fraction tiles, base 10 blocks, and geometric shape. So in mathematics education, manipulatives, ito daw po yung mga concrete objects that students could handle, explore, and understand. It helps students to understand more mathematical concepts in terms of the concept and the process. Example, in abstract ideas, it can, if gagamitin nila ito through abstract ideas, then it would help them to relate it into real life experience. And also, if using manipulatives inside the classroom, it also can help the student effective because kasi nga sabi dito, it is the use of concrete objects, and it can also by the use of manipulatives, it can help the students to learn math easier and effective. So, manipulatives are concrete objects. So, same lang yung sa intro. In order to develop conceptual understanding in mathematics concept. So, when we talk about manipulatives, it talks about the physical objects. Like yung binigay ko na examples kanina, block, tiles, or some geometric shape. When we say manipulatives, it is a concrete object that students can touch or move, or basta manipulate siya ng students. So, these manipulatives, it can help the students. To learn more in math, and it can allow them by allowing them to visualize, explore, and experiment. So, in using of manipulatives, it is very effective in elementary students because kaya nga nang binigay ko na example kanina in using blocks, parang it could be like practical talaga siya. Like for example, if we use the example of blocks, like example, one block plus, we can use it in addition and subtraction. Like for example, 1 blocks and 2 blocks. So mabibilang nila yun, and concrete object talaga yung ginamit natin. While in subtraction naman, wala natin 3 blocks, tapos babawasan natin ng isang blocks, then is equals to 3 blocks. So the use of manipulatives is not all new manipulatives help people learn mathematics in ancient time. So yung using of manipulatives daw, hindi na siya bago, hindi lang siya used for today. It is also used by ancient times. So, it means na yung use of manipulatives, nagagamit na siya before pala. So, the use of manipulatives is not new to people have used to learn math in ancient times because kahit dati ginagamit na nila yung manipulatives, like example, they are using abacus, counting stitch. They use these tools to count numerical numbers. So, in modern times, educators Frederick Frobel and Maria Montessori were the one who advanced the use of manipulatives in the classroom. So Maria Montessori and Frederick Frobel was known in using manipulatives in advance in teaching early childhood. So, kasi they believe using manipulatives, if we use manipulatives inside the classroom when teaching child or children, it is a big help. When we use manipulatives, it is a big help to teach children. Like for example, na lang sa journey he introduced to kindergarten the Program Kids. He used this theory as educational tools like blocks, pairs, and sticks to help children explore more. And ginamit niya tong theory na to sa mga shapes and patterns in terms of mathematics. So, this theory, sa theory ni Frederick, it emphasizes more that the children can learn through structured play, creativity, and early discovery learning. So, while in Maria Montessori naman, she believed that children learn through independent exploration naman siya, using the real-world materials or yun na nga yung mga concrete objects. O yun na nga yung mga use of concrete objects. Like for example, binigay niyang example like yung mga numbers, sandpapers, letters, and head shapes. To help children understand math, language, to sensory experience, her theory emphasized yung theory ni Maria Montessori and emphasized learning through its own space. So parang discovery learning lang siya. So at present in the Philippines, the DepEd mathematics curriculum calls manipulative to be used in teaching a variety of competencies. So in the Philippines, in the Department of Education or the DepEd emphasize the using of manipulatives in teaching mathematics. Like physical objects. Like yun na nga yung mga sinabi kong examples kanina, useful talaga siya in terms of teaching children. So these tools daw, sabi dito, makes learning more meaningful and memorable. Kasi when we use concrete objects in terms of teaching, mas na-engage daw yung student natin kasi parang ginagamit natin na object is marirelate nila sa real-life experience or real-world scenarios. So aside from helping students acquire deeper understanding of mathematics, the use of manipulatives gives the teacher a chance to assess the students. So manipulative help the students math by better allowing them in some hands-on learning. They also help teachers assess students to progress by observing. So, for example, as teacher tayo, pwede natin i-distribute lang yung manipulative sa mga students natin. Then tayo, parang magpa-facilitate na lang tayo sa kanila. Then we will see if yung strategy mo ba na ginamit mo na manipulative is effective ba siya. Then, if hindi effective yung ginamit mo na manipulative sa kanila, then you can go use other strategies para mas maging effective yung teaching. So, that's all.
Good morning, everyone. So one drawback of using manipulatives is that it may cause confusion, especially to struggling students, if they are not presented with proper guidance and instruction from the teacher. So again, manipulatives are ito yung mga physical object. Ito yung mga concrete object that can be used to tools for teaching math concept and also for learning math concept. So this helps students ma-visualize nila, ma-imagine nila yung abstract ideas ng math to ma-connect nila or ma-relate nila sa physical object. Pero there are students talaga that are struggling when it comes to using manipulatives. So disadvantage nito is it can cause, yun nga, one drawback is it can cause confusion, kalituhan sa mga bata if they're not guided properly of using these manipulatives. Kasi they may not fully understand of how itong physical object nito, how itong manipulatives is related sa math concept, related sa tinuturo ni teacher. Okay, so yun, as teacher, we must always provide clear instructions of paano itong gamitin yung mga manipulatives na ito sa activity, sa discussion, or sa class ni teacher. And let them explore further understanding. Monitor them while they're using these manipulatives, kung tama ba sa yung paggamit nila, if hindi ba sila nahihirapan, na gano'n. And of course, dapat talaga i-relate, i-connect nila these manipulatives sa abstract concept na math. Okay, so, moreover, careless use of manipulatives might result in the students believing that there are two different worlds of mathematics, the manipulative and the symbolic. So, yun nga, the student may think that there's the world for manipulative, which is yung object, mga blocks, mga sticks, and there's the word for symbolic, which is yung numbers and mga equations. So, mahirapan sila to see the connection between the physical object, itong mga manipulative, sa ideas or abstract ideas na math. So, dapat talaga, we need to model, we need to demonstrate talaga sa kanila for them to see how itong manipulatives, yung connection nito sa math na ituturo ni teacher. Okay, so, and of course, slowly, tagal-tagal, if gets na nila yung topic, no need na gamitin yung manipulatives kasi na-understand na nila itong math concept. Okay, so, it is therefore important that the teacher carefully plan on how to integrate manipulatives in classroom discussion in such a way that there is a smooth transition from concrete to abstract. So, yun na, dapat alam ni teacher, dapat may technique siya on how and when to use itong manipulative sa lesson plan niya or sa classroom discussion niya. In that way, magkakaroon si teacher ng smooth transition of learning math, where the students will learn math from objects, which is yung mga manipulatives, to numbers. Okay, so the following are some guidelines for using manipulatives in the classroom. Number 1, orient the students on how to use the manipulative. Give them some time for the students to play with the manipulative. Allow them to explore the object and what they can do with it. So yun nga, before we let the students use itong mga manipulatives, they need to understand first of how this object works and what itong object represents sa math ideas na ituturo ni teacher. And of course, we let them discover things, we let them solve on their own. In that way, makakahanap sila ng mga different ways of ways to use these manipulatives para magkaroon sila ng deep understanding of itong manipulatives na ginamit nila sa math concept na ituturo ni teacher. So, number 2, give clear and specific instructions. State the goal of the activity and how the manipulative will help them achieve the goal. So dapat may clear step-by-step process si teacher na bibigay sa mga students kung gagamitin nila itong mga manipulatives. In that way, mas klaro sa kanila mas klaro sa kanila paano gamitin yung manipulatives, and they can also mas effective nila ma-learn yung math concept. Ito po yung teachers. Then number 3, while the students are at work, they pay attention to their mathematical talk, use their ideas to enhance the discussion that follows after the activity. So we have to observe yung students natin while using the manipulatives, as pwede magkaroon sila ng ideas, insight, na kung saan mas na-improve natin yung pwede natin gamitin in our discussion para mas magkaroon tayo ng more improved discussion, mas effective na discussion sa math concept. Number 4, if some of the students are struggling, ask them why and how questions to scaffold their way through the activity. So, through asking how and why, we as teachers, ma-identify natin yung mga students natin that are struggling na gumagamit ng manipulatives. So, in that way, ma-encourage natin sila to think about the problem and solve it. So, na-improve dito na yung critical thinking skill nila and problem solving skills. So yun, many manipulatives are commercially available. The common ones are base 10 blocks for learning value, place value, decimals, etc. So itong base 10 blocks, no, it helps. Ito, base 10 blocks. This is the base 10 blocks. So this base 10 blocks, okay, this helps students understand how numbers are put together. So, kung saan pwede sila mag-counts dito ng by ones, by tens, hundreds, or thousands. So, next sample is, yan. This second one is a geoboard. Okay, that is a geoboard. So, this geoboard, we can use this to let the students, kumbaga, using bonds, rubber band, to create figures or shape on their own. In that way, they can learn about geometry or mga shapes. Next sample of manipulatives is itong pay money. So, they can learn about the value of money. Another one is yung paper clock. So, yung paper clock, no, this manipulative is to learn, for students to learn about the time. Okay? So, pwede nga ito, example, sabi si teacher, okay, place the paper clock at 4 a.m. So, pwede nga ito galawin yung 2 points sa 4 a.m. Ganun lang.
So yung manipulatives, may importance din siya. So the importance of manipulative is to assist children to discover their abilities that did not discover their own. And this aids in the learning process. So the manipulatives are provided by the teachers and students teachers and parents with basic instructions and allow students to explore master concept and ask questions when they needed to. So according to my research, according to Kajidal, children are active learners with master concept by processing through the three level of knowledge: the concrete, the pictorial, and the abstract. The use of manipulatives enables students to use to explore concept at first or concrete and level of understanding. So when students manipulate objects, they are taking the necessary first step and internalizing processes and procedures. So yung manipulatives may advantage and disadvantage na. So sa advantages, using manipulatives enables students learning. So using manipulatives helps students to understand concept using their senses and heads. So number 2, students feel capable and competent. So dito naman using manipulatives gives students to opportunity to experiment and making mistake without fear of embarrassment. So number 3, students will see real life application of concepts. So dito naman using manipulatives gives students an opportunity to understand how concept used in real life. So number 4, it teaches underlying values. So dito naman using manipulatives gives students an opportunity to think critical and be creative and to solve a problem. So kung may advantage, may disadvantage naman. So number 1 can be a source of disturbance. So dito naman manipulatives can be disturbance for students, especially if hindi siya readily available. So number 2, if not provided, can be a very costly to the teacher. So dito naman manipulatives can be expensive to purchase, especially if they are not readily available. So number 3, use has to be carefully and can be a very time consuming. So dito naman sa manipulatives can require carefully learning and preparation and can take a lot of time a teacher usually, I mean, while there are many ready-made manipulatives to buy, so there are few teachers, or there are mostly teachers that creates for their own students. So in that, in taking own of your students, so if it is one of the best manipulative to use, and that is because the teacher know already where the specific needs of the students, or where is the difficulty of areas of the students. Let's move to So the following is an example of how J-board is used to reinforce the understanding of different kinds of triangles. So this activity may be done after the students have learned the kinds of triangles according to angle, measure the acute and obtuse. So according to the size, length, scale, isosceles, and equilateral, sample of the students' work are also presented. So dito, bago ibigay ng teachers yung J-board, kailangan muna malaman ng mga ng mga students yung mga different triangles. So materials, data boards, rubber bands. Instruction, make an image with an equilateral triangle, an isosceles triangle, and scale triangle. Make an image with a acute triangle, a right triangle, and a obtuse triangle. It is possible to have the following triangle. If it's possible, come up with an example using the data board and a rubber band. Otherwise, discuss why you think it is possible to create such a triangle. So number one is equilateral acute. So when we say equilateral acute triangle, the equilateral triangle has 3 equal sides and 3 equal angles. So each triangle, since each triangle in equilateral triangle measures from 60 degrees, equilateral triangle measures and less than 90 degrees. So it is also called an acute triangle. So number 2 is equilateral right angle. So a right triangle has one angle that measures 90 degrees, and an equilateral triangle has 3 angles that each measure 60 degrees, and you cannot have both a 90-degree angle and a 360-degree angle is the same triangle. So ito yung example ng equilateral right angle. So next is equilateral obtuse. So when we say equilateral obtuse triangle, has one angle that measures greater than 90 degrees. So an equilateral triangle has 3 angles. The angle that each measures 60 degrees. And you cannot have an angle greater than 90 degrees and 60-degree angles in the same triangle. So, ito yung equilateral. So now we will move to isosceles acute triangle. So when we say isosceles acute triangle, it has a triangle in which all 3 angles are less than 90 degrees and at least 2 of each are equal in measure. So this is the example of isosceles acute triangle. It has 120 degrees and 30 degrees and also 30 degrees in both sides. And next is the isosceles right triangle. So in isosceles right triangle, a right triangle has a 2 equal measure, and it resulting in 45 degrees, and 90 degrees. So this one side here and this one, it has 45 degrees, and the right one, it has the 90 degrees. Next is the isosceles obtuse triangle. When we say isosceles obtuse triangle, it is it is a triangle in which one of the three angles is obtuse. It lies between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. And the other two sides are equal in measurement. So one of the example is here, 120 degrees and 30 degrees and 30 degrees. As you can see, parang same lang sila sa isosceles acute and yun obtuse triangle. So the difference here, to the both, obtuse isosceles triangle, a triangle which two sides are equal and one angle is obtuse angle is called an obtuse. And while the acute isosceles triangle, a triangle in which all three angles are acute angles and two sides measure the same is called an acute triangle.
Now let's proceed to the scalene. There are three types of scalene. So first is the scalene acute. It is an acute scalene triangle. It's a special type of triangle that shows the properties of both acute triangle and scalene triangle. All three sides and angles are different in measurement, and all these angles of an acute scalene are less than 90 degrees. So in here, when we say scalene, if all sides are different and lengths, no sides are equal. So in acute, all the other are less than 90. So as you can see here, less than 90 siya, pero if total nyo, it equals to 180 degree. So next is the scalene right. In scalene right, an obtuse scalene triangle is a special type of triangle that shows the properties of both the obtuse triangle and scalene triangle. So in scalene right, one of its angle is exactly at 90. So here, itong part ito exactly at 90 degree. So next is the scalene obtuse. Scalene obtuse, an obtuse scalene triangle is a special type of triangle that shows the properties of both the obtuse triangle and scalene triangle. So in here, when I say obtuse, one of its angle is greater than 90, making it acute. So dito, ito yung obtuse, and dito yung may part dito of acute, which is a part. So these angles can be used in giving activity to the children. For example, yung boards kanina. This is the actual of boards. Example, bigyan kayo ng activity. This geoboard is too risky to the children, so kailangan siya ng guided. So instead of if nahirapan kayo ibigay ito sa kanila kasi nga risky siya, pwede din gumawa ng this geogames. Pero mas better kasi if ganyan, para alam nila kung makaka-expert sila sa paggawa ng mga ng rubber band. Like for example, this one. This rubber bands is na-form siya into boat. So, na-form ng rubber band into boat. So, this part, in this left, ang triangle dito is scalene. And then sa right, equilateral. Tapos itong body niya is the isosceles. So now, we have here prepared here a lesson plan about the boards. So in the lesson plan, that the cognitive is to identify slides and flips into dimensional shapes. In psychomotor is draw the ability to create the effect of slide flips. Affective is display interest in answering the J-board. So in the activity, the teacher gave them the treasure map. So in the treasure map, the teacher parang nag-hide siya ng mga object, mga shapes na parang ma-explore ng mga bata or hanapin nila kung ano yung nawawalang object dun sa treasure map. So in the abstraction, yun na yun. For example, dito sa abstraction, ginawa nila, example, itong triangles. So itong triangles, pwede siyang ganito. Example, itong triangles, di lang siya naka-forward lang doon. Pwede din siya mag-flip. So in the application, the teacher used the geoboards to answer the activity. So the activity is in the 3 different boxes, the different information that the students will do on the geoboard. For example, sinabi ni teacher na gumawa ng boat or gumawa ng other object. For example, mukha na yung parang satellite, ganyan, made of triangle. So ginagawa nila dito sa geoboards. That's all for the group.